Welcome to Dunn Field for tonight's interleague game against the Washington Brilliance Sox. The Elmira Pioneers are coming off a solid weekend, and actually tonight they'll be flipping the script, wearing their blue Navy uniforms here at home. I'll have to fix up that graphic really quickly. But overall, it should be a great night, but it's not going to be like some of the previous fixtures we've had in interleague play. Some members of this Brilliant Sox team are potential future MLB players or have even gotten drafted. Overall, we should have a very intriguing and fun game tonight. I'm Taylor Storthy, and we will be ready to go in just a few minutes. Just heard the national anthem. Pios baseball is ready to get underway. Mason Smith warms up, and he will get the call to start on the mound for the Pioneers. We know, of course, Mason Smith, he's done a great job in relieving since this season, and will get a call here as an opener. By the way, the Pioneers and Brilliant Sox game tonight is going to be a 9-inning game. So, buckle in and get ready. It should be a fun one. That'll finish up the warm-up, and that'll bring Trevor McKinley up to lead off for the Brilliant Sox. Brilliant Sox play all around the nation as a traveling team, and will provide a good test for the Pioneers. But now the 6'2", 195-pound outfielder will step up to begin the game. Pioneers, of course, wearing the navy and white. Brilliant Sox wearing black and light green. We're closer to a neon, but really nice on the jerseys right there. That one's going to be lined in the middle for a base hit and gets all the way down into the gap. In fact, he's actually just going to roll in for a double. McKinley gets this game started with a base hit. On defense for the Pioneers, Brody Bartenstein alongside Mason Smith forms the battery. At third base, Johnny Wall. Shortstop, Kyle Shimoleski. At second base, Aiden Blake. And at first base, it's Janai Vaughn. Although I actually do think I might have gotten one thing. Needed to set that in the infield. Yeah. Wall at third, and by the way, Justin Hanley, if I'd mentioned him, he's actually the extra hitter. And first pitch outside, ball one to the new batter here. No one out, top of the first. Thank you to C-Tran for being this inning sponsor of the Elmira Pioneers. You can learn more about their accessible transit at chmongtransit.com. Also, just as a reminder, if a stream ever goes down, the full replay will be up on YouTube afterwards. So, just to always keep that in mind. 2-0 now for Mason Smith to Lovejoy, who steps up now for his first at-bat. That one inside. And they'll just give him the free base. So, Cody Lovejoy gets aboard with 4 pitches. Cody Lovejoy, formerly at Texas State. Will now be on first as Hurt will step up. Here's the first pitch from Mason Smith. That one's inside, but on the corner, strike 1. It's actually the first successful strike we've seen from Mason Smith today. And, oh, actually, I missed it. Everyone else missed it. Bartenstein missed it. McKinley steals third. Runners at the corners. No one out. That one fouled back. Count now 0-2 for Hurt. Can Derek Hurt respond here? And he's going to tip that one away, so he'll stay alive. Oh, 2. Runner goes, and that will be fouled away. J.N.I. Vaughn, not able to get to it, goes off the dugout. Derek Hurt, while with the Maryville Scots, had a .314 average, a .416 OBP, and a .522 slugging for his career in 71 games. With that wild pitch, that's ball 1. Runners will now both get in scoring position. Now on second and third. Kinley was already on third. Lovejoy is now on second. So Derek Hurt, the 5'9" outfielder, tips that one. Ooh, that tips off of him. He'll get on base, and the bases are loaded. Slow start here for the Pioneers, but they are facing some pretty strong talent. It'll be up to Mason Smith to work his way out of the jam. The good news as well for the Pioneers, though, it's a very low-stakes game. It won't affect their PGCBL playoff hopes. It simply gives a nice, tricky test for the Pioneers, and also, of course, because it was previously going to be against the Capital City Reds, fortunately, there are some issues that prevented those games from happening. 0-1. Podkul up now. That one's going to be driven deep center field. And gets down behind, and that will likely clear the bases. It'll be a standing double for Podkul. 1 run, 2 run, and 3 runs will score. So Podkul, with a standing double, will bring home the first runs of the game. It's a 3-0 Washington lead. Of course, the Pioneers' previous game, they did a similar thing against the Newark Pilots, as they were ultimately able to win. Okay, cool. And there's a bee flying around the camera to try to make things worse for the Pios here. That bee's trying to interrupt the broadcast. But of course, last night, or 2 nights ago, on the 1st, the Pioneers went into Newark and exited in 5 innings, a 13-0 victory. their largest margin of victory in the season, and second most runs scored in the game. Now that is going to bring up Markman up, and ball one just inside. Of course, tomorrow night you can also check out the Pioneers again. They'll be having another interleague game before returning to PGCBL action here at home against the Auburn Double Days on the 5th. That one's going to be lined up the middle and a base hit. It's a sharp grounder. Podkul, he's able to get home. That throw from center field won't get there in time. An RBI single to make it 4-0. All runners that have gone on base have come home and scored. That time just a well-hit ball that's too hard to field. Race will step up, and here comes Billy Wilderman. And I have a feeling he's just going to tell Mason Smith to settle down. Obviously, Pios will want to try to stay in the game and fight back, and they've got plenty of time to do so. But obviously, not the world's greatest start. We know how good Mason Smith is, and we know he can settle down, and hopefully he will be able to. $7:20 tonight, a nice warm night here in Elmira. And the game will resume now. Tyler Reese steps up now. He played at Waynesburg for his 4 college seasons from 2016 to 2019. And he's going to take ball one just outside. That one's going to be popped deep but foul. Good attempt there from Pios players, but no one will be able to come up and find it. 1-1. And of course, I'll just mention it again, even though it'll probably be asked, will this game affect the PGCBL standings or official record? Nope. The Pios will definitely be keeping track on the quotation mark record these games, but they won't affect the Pios' chances of making the playoffs. However, for bragging rights, and because this Pio teams will want to win, they might not be super happy with the slow start. But now the infielder, the second baseman, ready to go. 2-1. That one's going to be popped up. J.N.I. Vaughn able to get under it. And, oh, we can't get it. The sun, I think, a little bit too bright as it's setting here. And the count will go 2-2. And it is a pretty bright sun tonight. It can be very hard to see those balls. Driving on the way here as well, it was pretty bright out. Two. That one's high, ball 3. Bartonstein can't frame that one. And ball 4. It's a full count, a race, works, a walk. That'll put 2 aboard again. Still no one out. We do have a little activity in the Pios bullpen. But I know they're going to want to try to at least help Mason get through the inning. Taylor Olmsted steps up now. Previously, he had gone to Southern New Hampshire University as he fouls that one back, 0-1. Say though, it's been a fun week or fun weekend, at least day for Pioneers fans, and especially the families of the players who've come out to visit over this Parents' Weekend. Also, keep in mind tonight there will be fireworks after the game. Make sure you stay tuned for those. Now, here's the 0-1 to Olmsted. And they're going to call that strike 2. Smith able to get ahead. Can Olmsted get out of the at-bat here and try to help the Pios cause? And yes, he does. Gets him looking. That strikeout is the first out of the inning for the Pioneers, and also his first strikeout for Mason Smith. That will now bring up Yuta Okazaki. Now, he and Joe Muzio share something in common. They both used to play in the Sunshine State Conference, Okazaki originally, at Rollins way back in 2013 and 14. Had a pretty solid time there. And oof. On the 1-0, he gets plunked. That one just slipping away from Mason Smith. That'll load the bases. With 1 out. All force outs will help the Pioneers. It's still not the start they definitely wanted. Spencer Henn will step up. He's the 9-hitter. And by the way, the Brilliance Sox are only running 9 players. Here's the first pitch for Henn. Takes it low, strike 1. Third baseman from Miami University Hamilton. That one outside, ball 1. Ooh, big swing and a miss there. Mason Smith able to fool Henn that time. And now the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He's got his second strikeout. And now 2 away with the bases loaded. So McKinley will get his second at-bat today. He had a double on his first at-bat, and gets by Aiden Blake. Had a shot to get the final out of the inning. That'll put runners at the corners and score 2. That was a line drive that just was missed barely by Blake. That'll bring a 2 RBI single. That'll bring up Lovejoy. Lovejoy always scored after walking on his first at-bat. Now runners are at the corners, and it is a 6-0 lead for the Brilliance Sox. Now the good news for the Pioneers, they haven't had a chance to bat yet, which means they very well could try and score 6 runs of their own in an inning. They had scored 4 runs, 5 runs, and 4 runs in the 3 innings they got runs against the Newark Pilots. That was high, ball 1. So definitely plenty of time. But let's see what Lovejoy can do in this at-bat. Bartenstein, throw to second, and they are going to... No! It's a 1-2 count, so 2 strikes and 2 away, but it looked like he caught him stealing that time. I'll definitely say I think that was the wrong call, but still good throw from Bartenstein, good tag by Aiden Blake. Can Mason Smith get out of this? That one's fouled away. One-two to Lovejoy. That one's going to be flared and foul. Potentially grabbed over by the Pios dugout. 1-2. High, ball 2 taken there. Three-two now. It's a full count. They've got one base free. But I know Mason Smith will just want to get out of it. 3-2. That one's going to be popped up. A chance. Bartenstein cannot get to it. It's just in foul territory. So we'll have the 3-2 one more time. Three-two. And strike 3, they call him out. So, it took a little while, but Mason Smith is able to strike out the side. And with that, the Elmira Pioneers are able to strand 2 runners for the Brilliance Sox, but their offense does bat around in the first inning. They score 6 runs on 4 hits with no errors. And now it'll be time to see Casey Grimm take the mound, and if the Pioneers can respond. We'll be right back with more Pioneers baseball. Thanks again to C-Tran. Bottom of the first, the Pioneers trailing, but they've got a chance to try to get some offense going. Casey Grimm will take the mound. He's the starting pitcher for the Washington Brilliance Sox. It's Parents' Weekend Sunday night game. We've got some fireworks afterward as well. Leading off for the Pioneers, Zach Odom. So Grimm, the lefty, ready to go. That one's going to be driven deep center field, but not deep enough to clear the outfielder. Out number 1. But a good hit there from Odom. Positive sign for the Pioneers. That's going to bring up Ethan Herrera. He's in left field tonight and batting second. And strike 1. Strike 2. Herrera already down 0-2 against Grimm. Outside, ball 1. So Grimm's recently played with the Florence Yalls, and we can see some of his stuff as he gets Herrera looking on that 1-2 pitch. 2 away here for the Pios. By the way, thank you Salins for being this inning sponsor for the Elmira Pioneers. Official hot dog that you can always get here at Dunn Field. That's going to bring up Johnny Wall as the 3-hitter. Oh, count for Johnny Wall. Strike 1. That one low, ball 1. But of course, we've seen a few of the players on this team playing in some MLB affiliated leagues from time to time. But this one, of course, popped up in Casey Grimm with a clean first inning. Wall, Herrera, and Odom go down. And we'll be back with more Pios baseball. Of course, the big question is who will be up next? Well, Brilliant Sox due up. Hurt, Podkul, and Markman, the trio 2 for 2 with a hit by pitch. So, that'll be interesting to see how this inning goes. And it does look like we might see a new pitcher for the Pioneers. Indeed. Logan Scheider will step on the mound. More Pios baseball after this. Second inning is ready to get underway. I figured I should use this time to thank all our sponsors, since I actually wasn't able to last night because the game had ended too early in Newark. Anyway, thank you to AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Arkish Among Skylar, Arnett Health, Big Fox, Blaze Brockway Contracting, Bill Electric, Buckley's Automotive, Billy Hill Vineyards, Catholic Charities, Chemung Canal Trust, Clemens Center, Coca-Cola, Katie Mini Marts, Elm Chevy, Elmira Heat Treating, the Elmira Junior Enforcers, Firefly Adventure Retreat, First Transit, Glovehouse, Hardinge, Heroes Comic Shop, Hilliard, Jubilee Foods, Just in Time, N&T Bank, NYSCO PBA, Office Equipment, OPWDD, Papa John's, Pinecroft Golf Course, Salen's, Save-A-Lot, Seneca Beverage, Service Master Serve Pro, Shedden's Wholesale, Simmons Rockwell, Slammin' Jammin' Barbecue, Solutions FCU, Southern Tier Custom Fab, Suburban Propane, SUNY Corning, Susan mentioned DDS, The Cakery, Choke It Down, Today's Special, Tom South Corning, Tower Broadcasting. Ooh, that one high and inside. The first pitch slipping away, nearly hitting Hurt. He ducks out of the way. 1-0. As we were at, of course, Town South Corning, Tower Broadcasting, Town of Southport, Turtleleaf, the US Navy, Value Homes, Vasco Brands, Waste Markets, and Wilbur Auto. Thank you again to all those sponsors for making the Elmira Pioneers season possible. Now, the 2 to Hurt. He's going to line that and foul the first third base coach, actually having to dive out of the way that time. 2-1. Of course, this is definitely going to be one of the tougher games for the Pioneers, but they can also rest assured that if this does turn into a loss, it won't hurt them in terms of PGCBL standings. And Blake gets under it for the first out of the inning. One away here. See a couple rotations, but you do see quite a few of the Pioneers starters in play. Players like Johnny Wall, Luke Spruby, Brody Bartenstein, and even Zach Odom have all played multiple games this season and been very active. Others have also played some games. Last night, J.N.I. Vaughn, or 2 nights ago, in Newark, we saw J.N.I. Vaughn back in the lineup. We also saw some others as well. That one fouled backward, 1-1. Another interesting player out there. I believe he is playing in right field tonight. Eric Charnetsky. He had played catcher recently in one of the games for the Pios, proving he can be a very active player throughout the lineup. And now a 1-2 count to Podkul. For Podkul. Podkul, he had a bases clearing double last time with bases loaded, and he held up barely 2-2. They needed to check at first base, but he didn't go. So already with 3 RBIs under his belt, Shader might want some revenge for Mason Smith. 2-2. Inside, ball 3, so full count now to Podkul. That one's going to be driven deep left field and gets down in the gap. It will be extra bases again for Podkul, and it looks like he will settle with a double. 1 away, 1 on. By the way, this inning's sponsor, Multimedia Services, the official printer for your Elmira Pioneers. They provide all our signage out in center field, so thank you again to Multimedia Services. That one's going to be driven right field and foul. 0-1. And that one almost gets away, but Bartenstein stays in front, 1-1. And now the count 1-2 with that pitch on the outside corner. One, two. Outside, ball 2. Good take there from Markman. Three and 2 to Markman. And ball 4. He'll get on base with a walk. Now runners on first and second. Tyler Reese steps up. 0-1. That one's outside. 1-1. That one's going to be driven deep left field, but it will be shallow enough to get. And that'll be the second out of the inning. 2 away now. First pitch, ball 1. Taylor Homestead returns to the plate for his second at-bat. He struck out as the first out of the first inning in his previous at-bat. 1-1. Fouled away now. 1-2 count. One more strike. And Scheider can get out of the inning without surrendering a run. That could be huge here. That one's outside. 2-2. Runners go, and as it gets away from Bartenstein, so the runners will advance. Both now in scoring position with 2 away. Swing and a miss. Scheider gets out of the inning with a strikeout. Strong inning for the Pioneers, surrendering just 1 hit, 1 walk, and stranding both runners. More Pioneers baseball right after this. Due up in the second inning, Vaughn, Shimoleski, and Charnetsky, although Charnetsky is right before Shimoleski. Bottom of the second, this inning's sponsor, Papa John's. Make sure you get yourself a slice of pizza whenever you're at Dunfield or outside the stadium. Vaughn's first pitch going to be fouled away, 0-1. He'll be kicking off this inning. Swing and a miss, 0-2 now. That one now 1-2, good take from Vaughn. And he'll get it aboard for a base hit. And that is a great hit from J.N.I. Vaughn to try to get the Pios offense into action. The first hit here against Casey Grimm. 1 on, no one out. And that's going to bring up Eric Charnetsky, the number 22. Charnetsky swing and miss. 0-1. Charnetsky's really a man of a lot of talents. He can do a lot on the field, play at multiple positions. He's even featured at catcher before. He's now down 0-2 against Grimm. Grimm's already had a pretty strong start. He struck out Herrera and also forced 2 quick outs. It was J.N.I. Vaughn who finally got on base, the first Pioneers base runner here in the bottom of the second. Swing and a miss, so he's going to go down swinging for the first out. Kyle Shimoleski steps up for his first at-bat. Now say I was actually able to meet his parents before the game, and they gave me a very thoughtful gift. I really appreciate it. I already took a look at a few of the things inside, and I know I'll be enjoying some of that beef jerky and some of the other snacks later. And I just want to, of course, they mentioned they would be listening in, so wanted to give them another thank you here live on stream. But now let's see what Kyle can do. Oof, just chops that one low. Strike one. But now Shimoleski ready to go here with 1 on, 1 out. That one's going to be popped up. The light not blinding enough in right field, so that'll be a fly out for the second out of the inning. Disappointing, but some good contact there from Shimoleski. It's going to be Aiden Blake's turn now. He's playing at second base tonight. That one, low, ball 1. A good take there from Blake. Blake is going to drive that one into the gap, and that's going to be a huge base hit. Vaughn's going to round third and head to home. No, he's going to turn back. Ah, shame, but he probably would have been out. They were getting the ball very quickly. But it is a double for Aiden Blake, and that'll put 2 runners in scoring position. Here comes Justin Hanley with 2 away. I'll say, Hanley, we need you bad. Get some offense going for the Pios. There might be a few less people to stream, of course, tonight because a lot of them are here in Elmira at Dunn Field. If you're watching to stream, the only question is, why aren't you? Rhetorical question, of course, but if you're planning to head up to New York, planning to be in the area, we'd love to have you at Dunn Field. You can always write that number and call that number down during the inning breaks. Now, first pitch for Hanley. Strike one. Takes that one relatively down the middle. Oh, 1. Swing and a miss, 0-2 now. Grimm looking to get out of the inning without surrendering a run. One more strike away. Can Hanley keep alive in the at-bat? That one gets away, but Vaughn stays put, 1-2. The Brilliance Sox had a very strong start here. But as things have settled down, got a little closer. Allen's outside, ball 2. And that one gets in the dirt. And the 2021 USCAA Player of the Year will get out of the inning with his third strikeout of the game. 2 runners stranded on 2 hits for the Pioneers. Still 6-0 Brilliance Sox lead. More Pioneers baseball right after the break. And reminder, tomorrow night more interleague action. And on July 5th, the Pioneers return to Dunn Field to face the Auburn Doubledays. Thank you to Mets Candy Company, this inning sponsor of the Elmira Pioneers. Now we're ready to go in the bottom of the top of the third inning. It's going to be Yuta Okazaki leading off now. That one painted the outside corner, strike 1. Okazaki was hit by a pitch in his first at bat. That was low, ball 1. Now, we'll say for Shader and the other Pioneers players, Okazaki will definitely be a test. He had previously played some minor league baseball with the Braves. Only a few games, but can brag that he boasted a 333 average in the minors. So very impressive stuff indeed. So now, the Brilliance catcher ready to go here. The 2-1, he's going to line that hard, and a good grab there by Shimoleski. But, oh, Vaughn just falls off the bag. He had to go full split to make the catch, and that was the reason he just slipped off the bag. Tough play there. That'll be graded as an error, I believe, on Shimoleski, which is a shame. Very well made play, but Okazaki did a great job of running it out. And I think that's also one of the big things to know as well. You always got to run it out, because you'll never know when a player will slip off a bag or a throw will go wild. Got to show effort on the base paths. Something the Pioneers have definitely done quite often, but always a good reminder, because that looked like a sure out. Now, Hen will step up. He's struck out in his first at-bat. That one's going to be driven deep left field. Outfielders going back, and they'll make the catch at the warning track. One away. Good catch. Out in left field, it is, of course, Ethan Herrera. He's pitched a little for the Pioneers, and he's also showing some outfield prowess, too. Always good to have players that can do both. McKinley back up now. Top of the order. This is his third at-bat tonight. As a double, a single, he's just a triple and home run away from the cycle. And that will be tipped away, 1-1. Pickoff attempt, Okazaki back safely. That time, strike 2. With one away, a chance for Shader to get another strikeout. And strike 3 on the outside corner. He goes down for the second out. Two away with a man on first. That'll bring up Lovejoy. He struck out in his previous at-bat. Walked in another. And low, ball 1. Watches that one, a 2-0 count. Two and one now. The throw there from Bartenstein. Oof. Tipped down by Blake. Nearly got into the outfield, but I will say he did a good job to keep in front of it. Okazaki steals second. Count now 2-2 with 2 away. And there he goes. He gets another strikeout. to end the inning. That is 2 strikeouts for Ader, surrendering just 1 runner that got stranded on an error. Thanks again to Demet's Candy Company. More Pios baseball right after the break. Casey Grimm returns to the mound here in the bottom of the 3rd, and I will say he's definitely a tough test for the Pioneers. Well, he has been playing in the Frontier League, and in fact, back in 2021, he was preparing a final season in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League, not too different from our own PGCBL, with his baseball career up for question. However, on June 29, he got a phone call, and after that phone call went well, he was part of the Florence Yalls and has been with them, and also now here with the Brilliance Sox. He's definitely a very strong caliber talent, and he's been tough for the Pioneers to crack so far. 1-1 now to Lucas Berube. He's playing DH tonight and opens up the inning. That one's outside, ball 2. That one's going to be grounded over to 3rd. And that will be a play at first for the first out of the inning. 1 away, that'll bring up Brody Bartenstein. Bartenstein and Odom due up. But first, the catcher for the Pios will get his shot this time around. Here's the first pitch for Bartenstein. Strike 1 on the outside corner. By the way, Vasco Brands is this inning sponsor for your Elmira Pioneers. Thank you again to Vasco Brands. And if you ever do require their janitorial services, just let them know the Pioneers sent you. 1-1 here to Bartenstein. That one's going to be grounded to short. The throw to first on time and on target, 2 away. Pioneers getting some balls in play, but just not enough Babbitt luck to get on. 2 away now, Zachary Odom returns. He had a good hit on his first at-bat, a deep fly ball, but it was out. First pitch to Odom, swing and miss, strike 1. Pios' bullpen, I believe, is currently empty. Shader will definitely be good to go for a few more innings. That one's high, ball 2, or 1. Two one now to Odom. Strike 2 on that low corner. 2-2. That one's low, ball 3. So we're going to see Odom just working this deep count. Question is, can he eventually get on base? And of course, a reminder, if ever a stream dies midstream, the full replay of the game will be available on YouTube afterwards. Odom's able to get aboard with a walk. That'll bring up Ethan Herrera, who struck out in his first at-bat. First pitch to Ethan in the zone, strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2 there. Fooled by the off speed. Can Herrera recover? We've seen him make some good plays out in left field. Can he get him going on the base path? Ethan Herrera, need you bad. 0-2, 2 away. Just inside, ball 1. Swing and a miss, and that will be the inning. That's the 4th strikeout of the game for Grimm, and the side is retired. 1 runner stranded on a walk. More Pioneers baseball will be back right after this. Thanks again to Vasco Brands. So we're ready to go. The top of the 4th now, back at Dunn Field. And hello again, I'm Taylor Storthy, and you're watching Elmira Pioneer Baseball. Hurt will lead off. And again, we'd like to thank anyone who's tuning in as a fan of the Brilliance Sox. And we'd like to thank the Brilliance Sox as a team, as there's a line drive to center field for a base hit on the ground. For stopping by Elmira and helping out. The Pioneers had scheduled some games with the Capital City Reds, but a lot of those games ultimately got postponed or canceled. And some of those open spots, including here on Parents' Weekend, needed to be filled. And thankfully, we were able to bring the Washington Brilliance Sox here to town. And they are giving the Pioneers a good show. And again, they've had some MLB caliber talent. They've had some very strong caliber talent, as you can take a look at the scoreboard. And I definitely think it's great that the Pioneers can really get a challenge tonight. It could technically be called a tune-up game, but still, a tune-up can always be important as the Pioneers look to challenge for the 4 seed and get into the playoffs in the second half of the PGCBL season. So a night like tonight can definitely be a test. But also, it's not just for the players tonight, it's for the parents who've come out in full force to Dunfield. There's a big presentation pre-game with the players, as there's a swing and miss strike 2. And of course, over time, we've also seen some here. I've chatted with a few of them. I already mentioned about Kyle Chmielewski's parents and their really nice gift they got me. And thank you again, of course. They mentioned they'd be listening. That's why I wanted to bring that up here. Runner goes. Throw from Bartenstein. Not in time. That was just a very good jump from Hurt. Count now 2-2. It's a good on-target throw from Bartenstein, but Hurt's jump beat it. Not a surprise to see him try to go with the 2-strike count. See him taking a lead. Fouled away. This inning's sponsor is the healthcare provider for your Elmira Pioneers, Arnett Health. Two. High, ball 3. Podkul, he's got 2 doubles today, and also 3 RBIs from back in the first inning. If he repeated a double, he'd certainly bring home another. That one's going to be driven deep left field. I'm not sure if that's going to be a double. And actually, it's not going to be a double. Ethan Herrera came up with it. The wall is a little bit of a blind spot for spotting balls, but Herrera, he's able to see and make the catch. One away. What a play. Hurt will be back at second. He might have been able to tag up, but I think he was thinking that was getting to the wall, so he eventually just had to get back. Now with 1 away, here comes Markman. Ball 1 up high. I actually will say I need to double check if I'm pronouncing that name correctly. Makeman? I believe it's Makeman, actually. Outside, ball 2. No, Markman. Oh, there it is. It is Markman with 2 N's. It was a bit hard to tell, and oof! That one inside. The count now 3-0. Strike 1. But Markman today, he's 1 for 1 with a walk and single. Strike 2 now. So great job there to work the count full from Shader, fighting back. There is activity in the bullpen, so this will probably be his final inning. Unless they want to give him one more in the top of the 5th, but I have a feeling they won't. And they get him on the pickoff there, but the throw to wall is not accurate enough. So Hurt will get to third. Not sure how that's going to be graded, whether it's an error or stolen base or anything. I'll tell you, that's definitely not a balk, as I hear my people over to the left in the booth who run the scoreboard, point streak, and all the other stuff talking about it. That one's going to be driven deep to center field, and that'll be the second out of the inning. Hurt will tag up and stroll on over home. We'll be right back 1 second. Just wanted to make sure the wasp that was hanging around here was getting away. Apologies for that. 2 away now. But it's now a 7-0 game. That's the first run surrendered by Shader. And a little bit of a shame, but he's had a very good outing so far from the bullpen. That was just a deep sac fly that you can't do much about. Strike 1 now, taken by Reese. Be a little slower updating that graphic really quickly since the off is still just settling around. 0-1. Oof. That one's very far inside. 1-1. And there it is, 7-0. 1-1 now to Tyler Rice. Today, 0 for 1 with a walk. He would score on the walk. He wouldn't on a flyout. He'd have in his second at bat. That one, ball 2. 2-1 now. That one's low, ball 3. Scott need to also make it 2 away. And ball 4. Second walk of the game. That was going to bring up Taylor Olmstead. So, Olmstead, you know, he's had a little bit of experience in the PGCBL. A former Utica Blue Sox player. So he takes strike 1 right here with a runner aboard. Of course, we know the Utica Blue Sox is a division powerhouse this season, but back when Olmstead made his debut with the team, they were nothing more than a league minnow. However, he quickly made a name for himself in Utica and is remembered among their greats. Olmstead now pops that one up. Will it end the inning? Bartenstein trying to get under it. Vaughn trying to get under it. Neither can get it. 1-2. And again, there is 2 away. I don't know why I clicked 0 for that. ...132 hits, 83 runs, 81 RBIs, 11 home runs in 131 games. And the number 20 that he wore with the Utica Blue Sox was retired. Now, here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. The Utica legend goes down swinging for the 3rd time this game. He actually is 0 for 3 now with 3 strikeouts. That'll be the 4th inning with a walk, a single, and a run. 1 left on, 1 scored. No errors. More Pioneers baseball after the break. Thanks again to Arnett Health. Bottom of the fourth now. Pioneers back. Here's Johnny Wall leading off. He's going to face off against Casey Grimm. First pitch now to Johnny Wall. Takes ball one. That one's going to be popped backward and foul. That's a roof souvenir, 1-1. Low, ball two. 2-1. Three and one outside. Wall able to work himself ahead. He popped out in his first at bat. There's been some action in the bullpen for the Brilliance Sox, so wouldn't be surprised they look to make a change here for Grimm. That one's going to be grounded to first, and he's just going to keep it himself, one away. J.N.I. Vaughn steps back up at the plate with one away now. By the way, thank you First Transit being this inning sponsor for your Elmira Pioneers. One away now. Vaughn swing and miss. That one's low, ball one. And I will say for the Pioneers, a lot of these players are future baseball hopefuls. It's always good to play against people that have made it to higher levels and propose some serious talent and challenges. Fouled away, 1-2 now for Vaughn. One to two. Fouled away. Vaughn had a single in his first at-bat, and it was the first hit of the game for the Pioneers. That one's going to be grounded foul. Now the 1-2 to Vaughn. Swing and a miss. Okazaki back on it. That'll be the second out of the inning. I will say, this hasn't been the best offensive night for the Pioneers. It looks like we're going to get a pitching change. Yep. And he gets a handshake. I believe it's manager Joe Torre, and I'm also 99% sure it's not the Joe Torre you might think of when you first hear that name, but rather the Joe Torre who's been working with the Brilliance team for the past couple seasons. He goes out and shakes Grimm's hand. What a good outing for him. I definitely wish him the best of luck with this season with the Brilliance Sox, and there will be a bullpen change. Eric Charnetsky will step up with two away now. And we'll get you that number in a second. And it's number 45, Andrew Kramer, who will get a chance now. So with that, it's 3 2/3 done and dusted for Grimm. Kramer previously at Salisbury University and Lock Haven. And I believe he's also with the Florence Yalls. But of course, playing tonight here with the Brilliant Sox. Now now we go to the bottom of the fourth, 2 away now. Charnetsky will be the first test for Kramer. Inside, ball 1. 1-0. Charnetsky's going to pop this one up. And that is dropped. And Charnetsky's going to get to second. Safe. So an error in left field lets Charnetsky get on the scene. That's a 2-out base hit. He gets the second. Just dropped in left field. That's going to bring up Kyle Shimoleski. And let's see if he can now try to bring him home. First pitch to Shimoleski inside, ball 1. That one's popped up, and that should end the inning unless we see another error. Nope, the catch will be made, and that will retire the side. 1 runner stranded on 1 error. Aiden Blake, Justin Hanley, and Lucas Bruby will be due up for the 5th inning, but for now we've got the top half to deal with and a potential change for the Pioneers. We'll have to wait and see, but anyway, more Pioneers baseball right after the break. Now, the Pioneers, they may be trailing 7-0 tonight, but at the very least, the batters can say that they're not the Jupiter Hammerheads. Around the baseball world, Jacob deGrom is making a rehab start. He pitched 1 2/3 for the St. Lucie Mets, and he had 5 strikeouts. And if you can do the math, that's a strikeout for every single batter. So, Pioneers are going to have a chance to go. Kevin Serrano takes over on the mound. Shader completes 3 innings of 1 run ball, a very solid relief appearance. Okazaki, who is currently 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch and got on base via error in the 0 for 1 at bat. He'll lead off now against Serrano. That one's inside, ball 1. We've already mentioned sunset coming soon. The lights are already on out in the outfield. By the way, this inning sponsor, Texas Roadhouse. Swing and a miss. Oof. He wanted to take that ball out of done field, and instead is wound up like a corkscrew there. Good stuff from Kevin Serrano. Serrano does have to be careful, though. 1-2. So even though he's ahead in the count, Noah Okazaki can get that pop behind his bat and make the outfield scramble. Take the infield dive and get on with a base hit. 1-2. That one's high and inside. 2-2. Okazaki, Hen, and McKinley due up. It'll be the 4th time up from the top of the order at the end of the inning, at minimum. That one's low, ball 3. So Okazaki is now on a full count. And now we see some fireworks while in center field. They're not the official fireworks. In fact, let me see if I can get them in view if we see a couple more. That one's fouled away. But you can see, I think, a little smoke out there if it'll register on the camera from those 2 fireworks. I'll just keep it up in case they want to launch a few more. Figure I might as well let you see the fireworks show. That one's going to be grounded. Picked up by Blake. Throw to first is just in time. Hen will step up now with 1 away. And again, Texas Roadhouse is this inning sponsor of the Pioneers. That sign out in right field, you'll see it. If a Pio hits it, well, everyone will go home with an appetizer. Parents' night would be or family night, and Parents' weekend will be an amazing night to do it. Easier said than done for the Pios. Now here's the pitch from Kevin Serrano. Strike 1. So 1 away here in the top of the 5th. And of course, as of what I've heard, 9-inning game. Still have plenty of baseball to go. And again, remember, tomorrow night, I don't have the exact team we're going to be facing yet. I can double check. But the Pioneers will be playing again in another interleague game. And on July 5th, Pioneer Baseball will be back at Dunn Field again. All games are going to be at Dunn Field. But this time with PGCBL play against the Auburn Doubledays. That was a pretty eventful game the first time these 2 teams faced. I have a feeling it will be eventful again. Three and 1. Fouled away. Count now full with 1 away. And swing and a miss. Kevin Serrano gets his first strikeout on that full 2 count. The Pioneers as a unit have actually been able to chain together 8 strikeouts tonight. So I will say, good stuff from the mound overall. In fact, Mason Smith in his one inning, he actually did strike out the side. That's also interesting, too. A 1 count. One and one. That one's going to be popped up, and that could end the inning. Vaughn under it. Instead, it's going to be Aiden Blake. The side is retired. Serrano goes 1-2-3. And Elmira's got a chance to try to climb back in the bottom of the fifth. However, Washington still leads 7-0. Bottom of the fifth underway. Pioneers, not the best night for them. But of course, a reminder, not a PGCBL game. This won't get in the way of them making the playoffs. Instead, this is a chance for the Pioneers to tune up against some professional talent from the Frontier League, former minor leaguers, and others. The Brilliance Sox have a very nice hodgepodge of players. That one fouled away. So it'll be an interesting test for the Pioneer lineup chosen tonight. For Mason Smith, he unfortunately got the brunt of some hot bats in the first inning. Meanwhile, Logan Shader and Kevin Serrano have been able to keep him quiet throughout the next 4. Count now 0-2 with that breaking ball, dropping in and catching Blake off guard. One and two. Two and two. Good take there from Aiden Blake. So far today, Blake, he's got a double, and that's it. Pioneers still getting around their second time in the order. Is that looked like a moth for a second. That one is going to be a fly ball deep to left field. However, it's going to be tracked down, and the catch will be made. Not even a very buggy night. It's just a few larger bugs flying around here. I will say, Dunfield, historic Dunfield, what a beautiful stadium it is. But unfortunately, it's right by a river, and generally there's a lot of flies and things hanging around from time to time. A couple nights, you can sometimes